funny. Wild shit.
Yeah. Wild shit is actually funny.
Wild shit.
And I worry about this shit like when I see the algorithms on the social media platforms. If you start taking down things for bullying or even if it's in the guise of comedy, I think YouTube does a good job of this because like when we had Alex on YouTube, we put a disclaimer. We're like, this is all fake. This is all for, fun. And they left it up and it was cool the second time we had it around. But I was like, I'm looking at like.
What do you mean the second time?
When we had Alex back on, we put a big disclaimer. We're like,
so the first time they pulled it?
They pulled it, yeah.
Did you ever edit it? The part that he said, what did he say? Like Bill Gates is the devil or some shit?
No, I think he was like, Corona causes cancer. No, the vaccine causes cancer. I think that's
what he said?
Like 60 seconds in.
Really?
Yeah. It was.
Why didn't
you
just edit that part out and put it back up?
I didn't even think. I think it was so silly. Like we were all dressed silly. Like everything was a joke. We're doing this as a joke, but they went wild on it. But I guess my point is like, if TikTok says you can't say these certain words on the platform, right?
They ban a lot of people off of TikTok.
They ban a lot, and they take down videos for certain words. But all of a sudden, if you want success, you're going to have to start curating your comedy based on those rules. You get to dictate what the rules are for comedy. And then we're in the same fucking situation as we were when Comedy Central was putting out fucking nonsense for years.
Right.
So it's like, that's too much control, man. Like, I don't know. It's a little, when you look at the social media shit, if everybody's on it, is it a fucking, is it like water? What is that called? A utility?
Right.
Like, do we start looking at it like a utility?
I believe so. I think we should. I think if we want to look at things fairly, it has to be a utility.
You can't.
I think there's one thing, like if someone wants to dox you and tell people where you live and show photos of your kids and like go after Andrew's kid, like no, that's wrong.
Yeah.
And that should be illegal. But other than that, you should be able to talk. Yeah. You should be able to express yourself.
Yeah.
And the problem today is we're finding there's a lot of stuff that gets censored that turns out to be correct. Here's one, the lab leak theory.
Yeah.
For a long time, if you had that lab leak theory, you were a racist.
They called me racist after the Netflix special. I made fun of everybody.
Wait a minute. The Andrew Schulz takes over America, whatever it's
Schulz
called?
saves America.
That?
I literally had a couple jokes about the thing coming from China, and I have these fucking nerd bloggers that, of course, nobody looks at, and I didn't lean into it. I didn't make a whole fucking hoopla about it. But they're like, oh, this is racist. This is xenophobic shit. How could you say this, at the other?
But here's the thing. Like, that's their job. They suck. But their job is to suck. Like, they appeal to people who, they're the libs of TikTok. Like, that's their crowd. And this is a real market. And they might not even really think that way. They might decide that to think like that is a viable business option.
Yeah.
There's a lot of that going on.
Yeah.
A lot of people capitalizing on the woke shit, and they're basically sociopaths.
Yeah.
They don't care about the other people on the other end. They don't care about you because you're doing great.
Yep.
He's got a Netflix series. His podcast is killing it. Fuck him. Let's go. I don't like his mustache. They go after you.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm just saying, I don't know. I think that's too much power, and I worry, like, creatively. And, like, not to be, like, artsy about it, but, like, I want new young comics to come up, and I want them to fucking say what they find funny.
Yes.
And I want new versions. I want to eventually look at my comedy, and I see these young guys, and I go, man, my shit is dated. These young motherfuckers are killing it. Like, push me.
Push me.
Push me.
Yeah, yeah.
Don't do some neutered bullshit
Right.
because you want your clip to kill on TikTok.
Yeah.
Right? That's going to drive me fucking crazy. But if the algorithms stop allowing it, that's what it's going to be.
Let me tell you something about Spotify. They never fuck with me once.
Yeah, I know. It's everybody around Spotify that wants to fuck with you.
With
it's all these bloggers. No, I don't know if the worker shit is real, but I'm saying the bloggers, like how they always go for the company. They're like, Spotify, how could you allow this?
You know why? Because it's the #1 podcast on earth. Still.
Damn right.
Still.
Damn right.
Even coming over to Spotify.
Damn right.
Still.
Yeah.
And now Spotify's the #1 place for podcasts, too.
Bro, you know what's so weird? I was Breaking Points, Sagar and Crystal. I wanted to sign up. I signed up for their thing because you can pay money to get the thing early, right? I just want to support them. I love them.
Yeah,
I think they're
too.
fucking
Love
great.
them.
And I love Sagar's new teeth. You got great new teeth, Sagar. Okay, yeah, he looks like fucking Tekashi 6ix9ine with those things. so I go to sign up, and right? And my first, and this is the power of getting a massive podcast, my first instinct was, where do you listen to your podcast? My first instinct was not to do Apple Music or Apple Podcasts. It was to go Spotify.
Yeah.
That's why they paid you. So that I go, well, I guess I listen to things on Spotify, right?
Yeah.
I mean, obviously there's other reasons to pay you, but the reason, right? It's like, how do I think the place you listen to shit is now Spotify?